Hey bakers, Martin here in the studio today, and I want to show you one of my favorite decorative breads, perfect for entertaining. It's a great tear and share to take to a party. This is an Épis de Blé. Let's make it. So let's do this. Things that you're going to need are some baguettes that are shaped and proofed, ready to go into the oven, right? So this is our classic baguette. The recipe is right down there in the description. You can click on that. Get your baguettes to that point where they're ready to load. You know, it's been 45 to 60 minutes since you've shaped them. I have my oven preheated. I've got my steaming system in place. I even have my water preset. I'm ready to bake these baguettes. Instead of cutting them with a lame like I might normally, today I'm gonna do it with scissors in order to make this decorative shape, okay? I'm gonna transfer one of them directly onto my parchment. So I'm gonna do a plain one, and then I've also seeded some. One of my favorite flavors is toasted sesame on breads, and it's especially delicious with baguettes. So I have seeded some loaves. So I'll put my seeded one on there as well. The seeded one looks beautiful. The plain one looks like it's floured in spots, but it's not quite as floured as I might like. Now, if I were just making regular baguettes, I would say that's an appropriate level of flour. But because I'm making this épis and I really want to have the contrast between the lighter floured surface and the dough, which I'm going to expose with the scissors, I want to have a little bit more contrast. So in order to support that contrast, I'm going to use the finest sieve that I have, and I'm just going to add a little bit of flour. Just adding a little bit of flour. Don't be heavy-handed here. If this is something where you're like, I don't have a sieve that's quite right for that, don't worry about it. Just skip that. It's still gonna be delicious. The most common mistake I see with épis is that people use a too vertical aspect for the scissor blade, right? They're using almost like a straight up or, high angle. You want a low blade angle, similar to when you're scoring baguettes. Nice low blade angle, right? Nice low scissor angle. So you're gonna cut the sections, and as you make your way down, trying to cut each section roughly the same length, right? You're gonna alternate sides with your left hand. Now, you can see that I haven't cut all the way through. You don't want to actually break the segments. You wanna have them so that they are still attached with a thin sort of piece of dough right underneath them. Sometimes I'll go back and just give the tips a little pinch to really accentuate that sort of botanical, planty aspect of the decorative form, right? Just give it a little bit of a pinch. One more time, and now I'll do the floured one. Okay, that's it. Let's load. Okay, let's do this again. I want to show you one more simple cut that you can do. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to cut them just the same as I did before, but rather than moving the segments back and forth in an alternating fashion, I'm just going to put them all on one side. And then what I do is I just tuck them in just a little bit. They might open up some during baking, depends on how relaxed the dough is. But you can see it sort of gives you this look that I call like a barbershop pole. Okay, let's do that again. So because of the surface area of these loaves with the épis specifically versus a baguette, you may want to bake them a little bit less, right? So keep an eye on them while they're in the oven and adjust as necessary. Obviously, I made more than one batch, but these are our beautiful Épis de Blé. You've made the classic baguette before. We've got a video for it. We'll drop that link down below. All I've done is at the last step, before we go into the oven, I just give it that beautiful scissor cut. Some of them I add some sesame to. My favorite part is this darkening where it really gets these beautiful tips. If you're that person who wants to always bite the end off a baguette, this is for you, like times 10, right? Beautiful tear and share loaf, Épis de Blé. Thanks for joining us for another video. Love you, bye. Thanks for coming. Happy baking.
All right.
Try that.
I want that. Yes, thank you.